no, no real bare ground easily seen. All right, so it's a 4 or a 5. I'm not worried. And
we're gonna eat good rats.
I want to hear what you're saying. Yeah, they may want to hear this afternoon and tell them how many days they might can be out here.
They're so close.
All right. So what influences utilization is a good question to ask here. What do you think influences utilization?
Well, how much you have to utilize.
How much you have, so that's definitely true that there's that can be utilized because they'll get full in less bites. How many you have in here, right? But probe in and how far we can get that flag in before we get rejection. And everybody give it a try. See here, this is essentially a type of tillage event. There may be some instances to use an aerator, but in general, plants and biology are your best, going to be your best long-term solution to compaction. So annual ryegrass has got a fantastic root system, and use of annual ryegrass over time is really going to help with organic matter, building it, grazing management in here, and any other diversity that they can add in. So if we get a little more clovers later on, or think about any of the brassicas, those have real good rooting systems that will help with compaction. So it's just grazing management and diversity over time. We'll get biology back in here, get earthworms in particular, or where you want to get at, and it'll solve. Yes. Question for you.
Right where they've moved it together, so you can just take the baler right over it. So you get a big old thing of hay and you put it in here and you smush it down, and you get another big old thing of hay and you put it in here and you smush it down, and you get it from the top of the windrow, the bottom of the windrow, from this windrow over here, from this windrow over here, so you have a good representative sample, and you push it in until you can't push down into the bucket anymore. And so it's quite a bit of hay. I mean, you think that, oh, just this big that I'm holding and pushing in here, that's enough. No, you can probably get like 5 or 6 of those and push it down in a 5-gallon bucket when you get rid of all of that extra air and stuff. And then you're supposed to do 40 pounds of pressure. I have got this little contraption that I can hook up to my truck to be able to show me exactly 40 pounds of pressure. I've also done it enough times that I know if it's on the ground, how much weight I need to do to be able to push down into it. I know, and just push into it.
About halfway, you said?
That's what I do, halfway. Here, I'll let you in and again.
Don't want that thing to pop off.
And then you just empty in that bucket. I figure you could throw it out there and something could eat it.
In the bucket.
Yeah. Because of the moisture. Okay. So, but it also depends on how tightly it's. But this one's also a chopped bale. It's not a bale that's like this one where it's got pretty tight. It's a chopped one, so it's actually a little bit easier. But with the moisture, just so you can feel what it's like.
But there's a reason why you got this one on.
It's probably harder.
You roll it all over the place.
Well, this is how he's stacking it in here. But it just feels different whenever you pull from that one. And then you can empty it, but then you can smell it too. So this baleage has to be in the wrap for at least 45 days. We say usually 45 to 60 days, and then you can start feeding it. And so it can ferment and gets ensiled inside that. And then you can smell it, and then it smells, it's got those sugars that kind of break down. It's like making alcohol, right? They go through that fermentation process. Do what?
I don't think the alpacas would eat that.
The baleage?
Yeah. They won't eat a coarse hay. I mean, Tiff 85, if you let it get full stem, they won't touch it.
Yeah.
Well, they'll stomp it, but they
That'll just cut the metal. Then you change the drill so it comes out.
Yeah, they didn't settle down. They didn't get rid of it.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, if you were to keep, then you would burn your hand. Yeah. All right, so we'll take that off and we'll empty it over here into the bucket, and then I'll try the baleage sample. Can you get it free? Oh wow. Okay. And I'll give you this.
Okay.
So, go through the skinny side, yep.
They've gone out of the dairy business.
Gotta be the same butcher.
So I know if, like, I go down to Crawford County and I'll pull. It just depends on how far it is and how much you got going on.
Yeah, because you know, as long as we've been doing hay, I've often thought about, you know, I sure would like to get this tested one day. I didn't realize I could call an agent that can do it.
Or you check it out. So the same thing on this one, yep. Yep, you're good. So push on it first. There you go. Yeah, make sure you have your weight on it. There you go. Feels different, doesn't it?
It actually feels easy.
Yeah, because it's a chop bale. So now if this was baled like this one was, then it wouldn't be as easy. Yep. You gotta have, so people, a lot of my farmers ask, Haley, why do you get your nails done? So that they're thicker, so I can actually take the thing out. Yeah.
That's what he says. You're out on the farm. Why do you get them done? Because I'm out on the farm.
Right, yeah, if I didn't, then I wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff.
It fell out right there.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Alright, so you want to,
Yes.
You said they don't tear them up at all.
Nope. Matter of fact, I got a buddy that's got bulls. He said his bull gets inside it and wears it like a necklace across the field.
How much are the small ones?
The small ones are they're $225. The big ones are $325.
Are they adjustable as the bale gets smaller? Do you close up the ring?
No, they're pretty much the same size you see. They stay that size.
Goes down to.
They can reach across the small one.
Oh,
Yeah.
They move the
The
ring.
small one, they can access that middle part. With the big ones, they either have to push it over to get to that middle portion, or or get his buddy on the other side pushing to not push as hard as he's pushing.
Well, we bought the big hay rings, the steel ones, Tractor Supply when we started, and our llamas had to get up on top of it and get in there and kick it all out for the other animals to get it.
And the metal ones, you end up with a rusted teeth at the end. And
Yeah.
Which are great for growing cucumbers if you take them apart and set them out in the middle of your cucumber patch, but that's about all they're good for once they rust.
Yeah. You can't really weld on them. There's not enough meat there to do anything with it.
I wish the horse panels you could do a little more welding on.
That tubing is so thin.
Yeah.
And then by the time it's rusted, you got nothing to work with there.
What kind of building did y'all take down to get all this heavy steel out here?
We've taken that off of just different projects, but a lot of that stuff came off electric company.
If you look to the left here, these are some steers that a lot of these have already kind of filled their bailey up with baleage that we fed this morning, and then they're walking down this little alley right here, and there's a 40-acre patch of ryegrass and stuff that they got access to. In the stocker phase, you typically want to feed them good, but you want to let them. You don't want to push them too hard. You want a situation where they can walk around a lot and have good bone muscle structure, so that when they leave here, they're going to go to the feedlot and they're able to be finished at that point.
And a stalker means what? And I know that's a stupid question.
It's just the middle phase in between that calf being weaned and the calf going to the feedlot. Those are the kind of the three phases. The cow-calf operation is the first phase of a calf's life. Stalker is that middle phase, and then the finishing is the last phase.
Now, do y'all keep a feedlot for the beef that y'all process here, or do you?
Yes, you're gonna see that here in about a minute and a half. If you look to the left here at this little alley, on the other side of this alley is a project that we did in cooperation with NRCS and Equip, and we fenced out like a kind of a marshy land. The cattle, there's no value to that property at all as far as the cattle are growing any beef. It was just a mucky mess. So we fenced it out. We also fenced out a portion of the creek right here to keep the cattle out of it. and you can see they just finished filling their gut up with baleage, and they're going out there. They're gonna go eat some, go do their grazing, and eat some of the ryegrass out there. But it's good for them to be bump broke. You have to train a calf. I think the vet was saying this the other night. You have to train the calf to be able to go to the bump and eat. They're not born knowing that. So we have all ours trained.
How do you do that? Just lead them to it?
Yeah, you start out by feeding them something familiar in the bump.
Okay.
And majority of calves that we get in are going to be familiar with dry hay. So we start off with some dry hay, very good quality dry hay, because when we bring them in here, nutrition is a critical step in their immunity and fighting off diseases. So to the left right here is a load of steers that we sorted out of that group that you saw previously. This is a semi-load that's going to be sold on Monday on the tele-auction. And then they will ship out a couple of weeks after that.
To become what?
They'll go to a lot to be finished, to a feedlot.
Harvest.
No, they're not ready to be harvested.
They'll be
yet.
fed out with corn and grain.
Yep, they'll be fed out.
Not for stud. Do you not send any out to breed?
No, all these have been castrated.
You answered one of my questions about you go sell them on auction. I was wondering how you was moving them.
Yeah.
If y'all had somebody in particular y'all take to, or auction.
We market them through a tele-auction. It's called American Livestock or something like that.
Yeah. So you don't do Superior Livestock? You don't do that Superior?
No, we haven't sold anything over Superior. They're a really big outfit. I mean, we could do that, but I like dealing with people that I can talk to, and if I have an opinion, it matters.
Absolutely.
It's kind of my approach on
Les,
things.
what is this structure back here with the concrete and the pipes that kind of?
That is I'll show you right up here.
Okay.
That was holding a shade cloth, and the shade cloth
okay.
wore out. We got to replace the shade cloth. And then someone was asking me about the finished beef. This is up here to the left. This is what we affectionately call the meat pen. And if we have a calf that doesn't match a load, maybe he's bigger than all of these other ones. We call those lucky finds. He gets put in the meat pen, or if we've got more of a demand for finished beef, we'll pull some calves and stick them in the meat pen, and these guys just hang out right here, and their job is to eat. To get finished, though, you really want that calf to be. If you think about like looking at them from the front, you want to front or the rear, you want him to be square, is what they say. So in other words, on their back will be like a table. It'll be flat when that calf gets finished. And that's hanging as much meat on the bone structure that calf can efficiently handle. And there's different bone structures that can allow so much to hang on. Like
Where'd you say you get them from?
I typically like purchasing them from local farms. I don't want to get too far out freight wise, but if it's big enough, if it's a full gooseneck load or something like that, I can make things work. This is what they're eating. This is a mixture of baleage with some soy hulls and a little bit of corn in there. When we first bring them in here, this is what we call a receiving area. When we first bring calves in, we're going to run them through. We're going to give them their first round of shots and vaccinations, and then we're going to put them out here and teach them to. This is kind of where we teach them to feed in the bunk. We teach them what a fence is there on each one of them, and then we just we've got like a wire wrapped around that, And that's how we do it in the wintertime, because if we get ice and snow, it'll just rip it all down. So we just spread, we'll take that wire off of it, spread it apart, and that'll provide the shade during the wintertime. I mean, summertime.
Summer. Mm-hmm.
But we had some that these are going to be culls, but they have a healthy calf on them. For whatever reason, body condition score. I've got one that had an eye, lost their eye because we didn't get it treated fast enough. But those will be culls once they wean their calf. 9-10 months. I'm typically over in the meat pen over there. I'm typically finishing everything before it's 2 years old. The industry is around 30 months of, they don't really want to do anything over 30 months old, finishing wise. But
Right, y'all don't try to stick with a certain color, I see.
so these just happen to be a lot of Charolais. We typically were more in the black range, because sometimes I'll sell, like last sale I sold 100% a load that was 100% black, and sometimes if there's multiple buyers that want that black hide, they got a market for it, then they'll pay a little bit of premium for it. Sometimes not. Y'all jumpy and high-headed. Do y'all know what high-headed means? It means, have you ever seen a deer? They can look back at you. They kind of raise their head up, and got a lot of times they'll have ear. And that means they're on alert. They're worried about a predator, type thing. And we've also found, we don't use horses to work any cattle at all, but we found that like a mule or a ranger or something with a square head is a lot less threatening than like somebody on a four-wheeler that's got one head, that because they don't have a natural predator that's got a square head.
They're not afraid of it.
Yeah.
Inside the scale.
They know what you're coming for.
When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you get all of your. You don't want to leave one head behind, because one calf is going to get. They're a herd animal, so they're going to get really nervous if they're left by themselves. Okay, and then they liable to do something crazy or stupid or both. Like right into the pen. So this corral was built based on Temple Grandin's design. Cows will tend to like to go in a circular pattern and get away from an obstacle or something they perceive as a threat. So that's basically how this, if you can keep them going in kind of a rounded pattern, they travel a lot better than in a straight line. Okay. The reason I put y'all over there is so that they don't see you when they're coming up this alley right here. And it might make them try to turn around on me. These guys are kind of nervous right now, so once they get going, they tend to start moving pretty fast. get them with other ones that know how to act properly. I'll ask you, Red, one question. How many gates have got replaced? Because you never had no gates. I don't know. I've got a stack over there for any my needy new ones. So never had too many gates. Yeah. So this system is based on Temple Grandin's design. It's got that circular motion. How many of y'all watched the movie Temple Grandin? Simple, but this end operates the head gate. This end operates the middle gate. And this end operates the back gate. Okay. So on Temple Grandin's design, okay, the calf. Let me grab one of these flags. Let's leave this little path open for me. You walk past them, you see you. He's backing up. Now he's going to go and back up. Now he's going to go Now he just needs the little incentive to be able to go into the. They've been through this a couple times, so he knows he's about to get caught. Hey,
They get behind him a little bit.
grab his flag, step up over here, and just walk past him right here. So in her design, you would walk in a pattern like that to get the calf. Now this one's got, this looks unusual right here. So this, he's kind of wondering really if he should really come all the way up in there, or what she should do. And I'll typically, if I have an extra person, I'll typically get somebody on that side. If you kind of walk past like this, then they like to go in that circular pattern. Alright, so I've got this one caught now. I like to make the sides just a little bit snug, and then I open the head gate, let her see that there's enough room for her to go through the head gate. The reason I tighten up the sides a little bit is to keep her from slamming real hard, slow her down a little bit, keeps her from slamming real hard. Possibly hurt people. Alright, so now she's caught, she's hugged in the process, she is safe, you're safe to work her. I can give shots right here if y'all want to come up here. Y'all can, she's in a nice hug state right here. You can give the shots on this side, on the other side, and then you can dehorn the calf if you need to. You can look at their teeth if you need to look at that. Anything you need to do to them, huh?
Tag their ear.
Yeah, you can tag their ear right here. You can do any of that process. With the bulls, it's got an access gate right here that you can open up and you can do the castration process. You might want to come on this side. Right. Y'all got any questions at all on this? All right, you can.
The hydraulics are nice. Those of us with the hand push.
We've got a manual set up right there.
The manual setup is.
That's the manual setup.
But she is safely hugged in this spot. Typically sometimes they won't be calm, but a lot of times they will be very calm in this process. So you can do anything you need to do. You tail bleed, all these panels open up, you can access them like that. Any questions at all? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let these out. If y'all just step over this way. Just as long as you get in then let the body go. They'll typically let them go forward. If you open the back up first, they tend to want to back up, and you can tighten up their neck that way and close it back down. thing that doesn't work good, that what the temple grinding would not like, is the shadows that are being created by where the sun is right now. So a cow can't really distinguish, you know, what's going on with shadows and stuff. Hey.
I'll come this way now.
You don't want it to come this way, do you?
Right there.
Huh?
Shut this gate.
You're good, you're good. They're gonna go all the way. So, part of, you know, me moving those cattle up and stuff and through that process is you gotta work with cattle and kind of know how they think, how they operate. Cause I can make a calf